The next question is, which one of the following is a correct sequence of steps in digestive system? Okay, and you have all these four options. A very simple one. Yes, those who have given option D, they are right. The digestive sequence is like this. First, you are taking the food inside your body. Afterward, it is going to be digested in the stomach. And further, it is going to be absorbed. And finally, it comes out through the excretory system through egestion. Okay. So option D, those who have given, they are right. Option D is the correct sequence of step in digestive system. Okay. And similarly, pointer we have seen in the theory classes where we have seen what a digestive system is. Basically, it breaks the complex food into a simple soluble substance, and the main purpose is to get the chemical energy. Okay, and these are the sequence of steps. In the previous question, assimilation was not there, so it comes after absorption. And the main thing you should know that the nutrients at the end, what they are converted. Okay, so the carbs, if you take carbohydrates, it is going to be finally converted into glucose, and proteins are going to be finally converted into amino acids. Fats are going to be finally simplified into fatty acid and glycerol. And you should know that minerals and vitamins are absorbed directly. Okay, so all such pointers we have seen in our theory classes. I'm not going to be in detail in today's session. Okay, so our focus will be on the previous year question. Okay, let's see the next question. Which one of the organs are not part of alimentary canal? Option A, colon and rectum. Option B, buccal cavity and esophagus. Option C, liver and pancreas. And option D, stomach and intestine. Yes, he is asking which are not part of alimentary canal. A very simple one. Yes, those who have given option C, they are right. These are basically glands, okay, exocrine glands, liver and pancreas, okay, and all the remaining parts are basically organs, okay, which are basically the part of alimentary canal. Okay, so those who have given option C, they are right. Liver and pancreas are glands, okay, and these are not part of the alimentary canal. Okay, so this thing we have already discussed in our theory classes, where we discussed that alimentary canal is basically 9 meters long, and it consists of the following organs. It starts with mouth, pharynx, then esophagus, which is also known as food pipe. After that, it enters into the stomach region, which is basically a J shape. Afterwards, it is going to be in small intestine, and afterwards the large intestine, and finally which is going to the rectum, and finally through anus the undigested food will be thrown out. Okay, so in the digestive system, the other important things are the digestive glands. So these are the main 4 glands which are generally asked in the exam. So this is your liver, okay, and here it is the pancreas. Salivary gland is in your mouth, and finally gallbladder is near to your liver. Okay, so again, I'm not going to discuss about each and every organ in today's class. We will focusing only on the previous year questions, right? The next question, what is the tooth enamel made of? Option A, calcium chloride. Option B, calcium sulfate. Option C, calcium carbonate. Option D, calcium phosphate. Okay, so we already know that tooth is made up of calcium. Okay, tooth enamel basically. And we have read in the theory class that tooth enamel basically consists of calcium phosphate. Okay, you should be very cautious because all of them looks to be similar, but calcium phosphate is the main substance which tooth enamel is made up of. Okay, so those who have given option D, they are right. And similar pointer we have seen in the theory class that basically there are different type of teeth like incisors, canine, premolars and molars. And we have also seen the dental formula, which is 2123, which basically consists of the pair of the type of different teeth. Okay. And we have also seen that tooth decay start at the pH of 5.5, and these pointers have come in SSC MTS. Further, we have seen that structure of tooth and layer of tooth, and we have seen the hardest substance of the human body is basically enamel, and it is made up of calcium phosphate. Okay. Similarly, different pointers we have covered in our theory class. Yes. The next question is, which is the largest gland in the human body? A very simple one, but a very important one. Okay. So the options are liver, pancreas, thyroid gland, and the stomach. Okay. So you can simply eliminate option D because it is an organ, it is not a gland, right? So you are left with liver, pancreas, and thyroid gland. Okay. And we have read in our theory class that it is the liver which is basically the largest exocrine gland in the human body. Okay. And some text says that it is the second largest, but if you talk about the internal gland, it is the largest gland. Okay. So those who have given option A, they are right. Liver is the largest gland in the human body. And we have covered various important pointers, and student, you have to be very thorough to this particular topic, that is liver. Okay. Why? Because liver is the most important glands of the digestive system from the exam point of view. Okay. And many pointers we have covered in the theory classes. I will tell you the main one. The main one is the digestive role of the liver. Liver is the gland which produces the bile juice, and gallbladder is going to store that bile juice. This is a very important pointer we have seen in many exams. Okay. So liver produces bile juice, whereas gallbladder is going to store it. And why bile juice is required? It helps in emulsification of fat. What do you mean by emulsification? Emulsification means the fat which are basically a big globules substance, it is going to break down into smaller globules. Okay. Globules, you can say it is a droplet kind of thing. So if my fat molecule is this one, so emulsification means it is going to break into the smaller fat molecules so that it can be easily digested by the human body system. Okay. And the next important role of the liver is the storage. Okay. So it stores the glycogen. What is glycogen? It is basically a form of glucose. Okay. So the storage role it has metabolic role. In metabolic, what does it convert? It convert ammonia into urea. Okay. So you can see the liver is itself an important organ which does a multiple role: digestive role, storage role, metabolism. So at that point of view, you should be very thorough about this particular organ. Okay. Particular gland more specifically. Yes. Let's see the next question. On average, human taste buds are present in the human tongue. Okay, so he's asking that how many taste buds are present in human tongue on average. Okay, so these are the 4 options. Let's see who can give the right answer. Yes, those who have given option 2000 to 8000, they are right. It is not 1 million to 10 million. They are very small in number, but they perform the gustatory thing that we have covered in the theory class. Okay, so option A is the right answer. So as I told you that the tongue is basically that sensory organ which is basically help in mixing the food with the saliva. Okay, and the tongue muscle contain various taste bud, and the numbers are 2000 to 8000, and these are also known as gustatory receptor. Okay, and if you have read, this is the tongue and these are the taste bud. On the taste bud, these are the gustatory receptor. You should be very thorough about this word gustatory. Okay, like olfactory is for the smell, similarly gustatory is for the taste. Okay, and tongue can detect 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, that we have seen. Okay, and one more important organ, or you can say part, which is known as epiglottis, which is basically the muscular flap-like structure at the tip of trachea, which prevent the food from entering into the trachea during swallowing. So if you are eating the thing, why it is not going to the windpipe? Because of epiglottis. So epiglottis covers the windpipe so that food does not enter into the windpipe instead of food pipe. Yeah. The next question, the contraction and expansion moment of the wall of food pipe is dash motion. Okay, so once your food is inside your mouth, it is going to enter into the stomach through food pipe. Okay, so food pipe, when you take that food inside your body, one expansion and contraction happen. That motion is called peristalsis. Okay, peristalsis is a motion. Peristalsis means some contraction and expansion in the wall of food pipe happens. Okay, so option A is the right answer. So we have seen the esophagus or food pipe. So this is the like if you have the bolus is the crushed food which you are taking inside the esophagus. Okay, so it is going to expand here and it is going to be contracted if it is going downward. Okay, so this rhythmic contraction and expansion is called peristalsis. Okay, yes. The next question, in human body the digestion of protein begins in which of the following organ? Okay, the digestion of protein. Student, we have separate chapter on this digestive enzymes and various juices, where we are going to discuss all about this digestive of various nutrients like carbohydrate, protein, fats. Okay, so the main digestion of protein begins in the stomach itself. Okay, so stomach is the organ where digestion of protein start. And if I talk about the carbohydrate, the digestion of carbohydrate begins in the mouth. Okay, so carbohydrate is in mouth. And if you talk about the complete digestion, it is going to be happen in the small intestine. Okay, and we have seen the stomach is a very important part. It is basically a J shaped, and the main thing is that it is going to digest the protein in the stomach. Okay, and the gastric juice, it contains HCl, pepsin, and mucus. So pepsin is basically the enzyme which is going to convert protein into peptones. Okay, protein into peptone. Okay, and mucus, basically since it is acidic in nature, it is going to protect the lining of the stomach. Okay, so all such pointers we have seen in our theory class. The next question, the pouch which is connected at the junction of small intestine and large intestine is called what? Okay, a very difficult one. But if you have gone through the basic organ of the digestive system, you can eliminate most of them. Okay, so those who have given option D, caesium, they are right. Caesium or caecum, whatever. Okay, so option D is the right answer. And we have seen that the first part is caecum, which is basically going to be the junction of small intestine and large intestine, and colon is the largest part of the intestine. So this is a caecum. Okay, this is a colon and this is the rectum. Okay, and appendix is one of the vestigial organ that we have already seen. Yeah. The next question, after digestion, carbohydrate is converted into what? Glycogen, glucose, amino acid, and fatty acid. Yes, it is going to be converted into glucose. So carbohydrate is going to convert into glucose, whereas proteins are finally converted into amino acids, whereas your fats are going to convert it into fatty acid. What about glycogen? It is basically a stored form of glucose. Okay, so option B is the right answer. Let's see the next question. The process of digestion of food in human beings begins in dash and completes in dash. Yes. Yes, I told you, when you take your food inside your mouth, the digestion starts. Digestion of what? It start digesting carbohydrate. Okay, so it's begin in mouth. So we have only option B, which has mouth in the beginning. Okay, and it is going to be completed in small intestines. Okay, so don't confuse that large intestine is a final organ. It is going to digest everything. It is not the case. It is basically doing assimilation. Okay, so small intestine is going to digest everything, whether it's carbohydrate, protein, or fats, right? So option B is the right answer.